welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, if your man acting up or your woman losing she mind. Right, we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, if your man acting up or your woman losing she mind. Right, we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, if your man acting up or your woman losing she mind. Right, we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, if your man acting up or your woman losing she mind. Right, we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies.
B5.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the room, ladies' room for today, Wednesday, February 18th. And of course, it is a pleasure to be back with you. I would have loved it to be under different circumstances, happier circumstances, but sometimes life deals us some hands we have to, work with, and I believe this is definitely a learning moment as well, a sad moment, but definitely a learning moment as well. Just want to remind you that we are powered up by Western Union, Beacon Insurance, Land Store, and St. Augustine Medical Services. Thank you so much for making our show possible. We truly, truly appreciate you. And to you, the folks who've been here every single day, continue to share, continue to add your voices to the conversation. I see you, I appreciate you. And this morning, I want to make special mention of the men, some of the men who have joined and have continued to add their voices, Akeem and others. Thank you so much. We see you, we appreciate you, and we love you. Sonics, shout out to you as well. Shout out to you, Vaughn, and all the others who lend their voices. You may not be with someone like me who every day will, speak on it, talk about it, post about it. But listen, even if you do it one time, it's better than no time at all. So to those of you who have done that, thank you so much. Who continue to do that, thank you so much. And for those of you who are trying hard to get us to, Stop talking about it. It's not going away anytime soon unless we change, unless we make the necessary changes. He insisted that he needed to be here this morning. He's not here as yet, but I promised his wife I'm not going to keep him too long. Just wanted to add his voice as well. We're talking about Raymond Matthew, the Beast, and he has been in law enforcement for the majority of his life. And he was like, listen, I need to send a message out. I need to. So he's going to be here to do that. But let me say good morning and special thank you to those of you on the live stream, Facebook, YouTube, or those of you viewing, those of you listening on Radio 95.1, 95.3, or the Power app. Thank you so much for being here as well. The last Friday, a march was, well, organized, but like I told them, I had issues with the timing and that time of the morning, and the end of the day, you can't tell an employer that you have to. It is, with their permission, you get time off to do certain things. And I thought that the timing was wrong. So this Friday, it will be at the Esplanade Mall yard from 4 p.m. to 6. So that means after work, we have the opportunity now to add our voices to this cause. I posted it yesterday. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So empower her, the candlelight vigil, and speak out in front of the Esplanade Mall on Friday for stronger legislative reform to protect and empower women and girls, justice and protection for women and girls. We're going to have guest speakers on legislative reform and seeking justice for victims of GBV. All right. So from 4 p.m. to 6, Friday 20th, they're asking everyone to join and light a candle for change, and together we can make a difference. Also want to shout out Bishop Preston. I see you've been really, really vocal in sharing it. See you've been at the candlelight vigils, and I want to thank you for that. Yeah, you can talk all your nonsense when you feel like it, but when it's time to show up, you really do. So Preston, I also want to recognize you as well for adding your voice to, the conversation. All right. So while we're with Beast, there's something I also wanted to speak on. And let me take the music down because today I want to speak from my heart. And for those of you here, please, please, please share the live. Please share the live. Please share the live. Please. Today I want to speak to you for a couple minutes until, Beast gets here. Not as a radio host, not as a commentator, but as a woman, as a member of this society, as someone who is grieving alongside many of you. Because 2 young lives have been taken, 2 daughters, 2 futures, 2 stories that should not have ended this way. And whenever something like this happens, the country pauses. We feel it in our homes, in our workplaces, in our conversations, in our silence. We feel it in the way, mothers are now probably holding their daughters a little closer and feeling a little bit more worried. We feel it in the way that we probably check in on each other. And I had to shout out my boss lady for the check-in yesterday because, like I say, sometimes, the strong need strength as well. So sometimes you don't necessarily need to say anything, but just, to just call on a person that can really bring your strength back up, can fill your cup, because you end up depleted if you're constantly pouring. And if nobody fills you back up, you're going to be empty. So I really appreciate the check-ins and those who continue to send the little messages. Yeah, we see what we've been doing. We appreciate what you're doing. We feel it in the faith that creeps into ordinary moments. And now something else is happening, right? The conversation is shifting. And it's no longer about justice. It's no longer just about grief. It's turning into a battle line, and I don't like that. It's turning into men versus women. Finger pointing, accusations, generalizations, and I understand the pain behind it. I really, really do. For the last week, I swear I've been crying for people I don't even know. I understand the pain behind it. I really, really, really do. Because when women see another woman harmed, especially at the hands of a man, it hits deep. It hits really deep. It feels personal. It feels like a reminder of vulnerability we never asked for. It feels like history repeating itself. But here's the truth we have to hold on to. Even when our emotions are high, it's out of say, it's everywhere. Our emotions are like a train that's derailed right now. I just want us to understand and remember not every man is the enemy. Yes, there are men who hurt women. Yes, there are men who abuse power. Yes, there are men who commit unspeakable acts. But there are also men who protect, men who nurture, men who stand up, men who raise daughters to feel safe in this world, men who love their partners with respect, men who speak out against violence, men who are just as horrified by these tragedies as we are. And I've gotten messages from a lot of them. And when we start painting all men with one brush, we risk losing the very allies we need to create change. Because this fight for safety, for dignity, for justice, we as women, we cannot fight it alone. We cannot. No matter how much we think we can, we cannot. It's a societal fight. Violence against women is not just a women's issue. It's a community issue. It's a family issue, a cultural issue, a moral issue. And if we want things to change, we need everyone at the table. We don't only want women at the table. We need everyone at the table. We need fathers teaching sons about respect. We need friends calling out harmful behavior. We need leaders to speak boldly. We need communities to refuse to stay silent. This is not about choosing sides. It's about choosing better conversations, better accountability, better support systems, better protection for the vulnerable, better consequences for those who harm. Because here's what we cannot allow to happen. We cannot let anger divide us so deeply that we stop listening to each other. We cannot let grief turn into hatred. And we cannot let tragedy become just another argument on social media. And I'm sensing that's what it is. These young women deserve more than that. They deserve remembrance. They deserve justice. They deserve a country that learns something from this loss. And maybe, just maybe, the lesson is this. We don't fix violence by turning against each other. We fix it by turning toward each other, by asking hard questions, by holding each other accountable, by supporting survivors, by refusing to normalize abuse in any form, by raising children who understand that love never comes with fear. Because safety should not be a privilege, it should be a fight. So wherever you're listening from this morning, I just want us to pause and remember what matters most, guys. Please. Not the noise, not the arguments, not the headlines, but the lives. 2 young women who should still be here. 2 families whose worlds have changed forever. And not just the families of the 2 young women who died, the families of the perpetrators, they're affected as well. 2 reminders that we cannot afford to become numb. We can grieve together, and we can also demand justice together. The focus is to be building a society where women feel safe, where good men are part of that society, not pushed outside of it. Because I just feel like, yes, we're getting so caught up in our emotions that every man, once you name man Once you have a penis at this point, you're getting it. Even though you are a straightforward, respectable father, who a man who respects women, etc. Anger. And I had to sit, just scrolling through social media last night, and I'm like, I honestly felt that way, like that anger, and I'm like, no, we can't fix this if we're doing this fight against man say, woman say, and it's almost like a tug of war. We're defending what men say, we're defending what women say, and women should not have done this, and men shouldn't do this, and women shouldn't be with men if they don't want them, and they shouldn't take their money, and men shouldn't. We're not going to fix the problem if we continue to play the blame game and not look at solutions and how we can do it together. Because what we do, we stand the risk of alienating men who really want to step up, but when they see this attack, they're just going to retreat. We're like, okay, you know what? Like some men do. Because at the end of the day, for us women, our mouth, our tongue is our weapon. And what a man would do when we go off, he'll just retreat, and you know what? When she finished talking, me go thing here, so let me go out the road. When she finished talking, I'll come back. What they're going to do is retreat, and we'll be here fighting this fight alone. We don't need men versus women. We need men with women. Yeah? We need men with women. We need to stand together, speak together, protect each other, change this culture together. This is how we honor these lives, not with division. Not with division, but with unity. Because if we start to fight each other, we will forget what we were fighting for in the first place, which is the penalties, stricter punishments, changing the laws, speaking to our young men, the whole morals and everything that the Prime Minister spoke about yesterday, starting from the homes, etc. And you see how easily distracted we are as a people. Something comes along tomorrow and we forget. So if we continue this men versus women fight, we are going to lose. And all of this would be in vain. All of this would have been in vain. We'd have wasted time, days, energy, because we know putting our attention in the wrong things, in the wrong places. Let us regroup. Let us refocus. Because I think we're losing sight of what we're here for, what we're supposed to be doing, what this fight is about. Edward, thank you so much. We continue to fight this fight. And there are people I know who do not want to hear us speak. They wish that this would go away. The reason I know, just this morning, I'm not sure if any of you realized that my page disappeared. My Facebook page disappeared for almost an hour, almost 2 hours. And Facebook was asking me to prove I am human. And I had to send in a video of my face, all sorts of situation. Which means there are people working hard to report and shut down the message. Let me show y'all. 2. Let's see if y'all can see it. So for the past hour, your account is not visible to people on Facebook and you can't use it. That is like, thank you. Look, I wonder if you guys can see. Look. Gone. And I had to appeal it. So while we're fighting for, there will be people fighting against. Because there are people who do not want this message to continue. Just this morning, hold on. Hold on. Let me read it. 2 reports of abuse this morning. A man following his girlfriend, choking her in tongue, saying he will unalive her because she didn't go by him this morning and she's scared of him. Women are now reporting, going to the police in droves. In droves. So y'all can report. The end of the day, something has to give. Oh, he's almost here. What time now? Okay. Let me just answer him quickly. Something has to give. We can't sit down and act and pretend as though everything is honky dory. It's not. People are not okay. Yeah. I mean, that is I expected it because, like I said, you're moving when things start happening like that. You know that you're reaching people. And what we want is for people to understand you do not own a man or you do not own a woman. And because you're taking care of a woman or you're financing her, you're helping her financially, does not say as ownership. Comments like, if you don't want a man, don't take his things, etc. That has no place. At the end of the day, like the PM said, we all have to hold ourselves accountable. It is not a we, man versus woman conversation. Everybody have their responsibility in a relationship. So it's not okay, she take it thing and this, that happen and that gives nobody the right. Does not matter. Does not give anyone the right. And at the same time, your own moral compass should state otherwise. So we have to start holding ourselves accountable as women, as women, as well as men. Everybody out here isn't created equal. We have some well-dressed psychopaths, some well-dressed mental cases walking around, and all it takes is this for them to snap. They say there's a very thin line between sanity and insanity. Very, very thin line. So we always have to, and as women, I've been saying this for God knows how long, we now have to get to a state of consciousness where you think of yourself and your safety. Because sometimes you could be sleeping with a person, swapping spit with a person, and you're thinking this person have your back, and all it takes is this. And you're asking, who is this person? That isn't the person that I met and fell in love with. But here you are. So like I said, I don't want this fight to be a men versus women fight. I honestly don't. And it seems as though that's the direction we're headed. So I thought it best to highlight it now before we proceed. Because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the back and forth. I'm seeing the anger. Like I said, I understand the emotions. I understand the anger because I'm there. I am angry just like everybody else. But if we don't control and curb our anger, it could be misplaced. And the men that we need allies from, the men that we need support from, we can alienate them. And now it becomes we versus them. We will never fix the problem. Men understand men best. And we're asking men to speak to their brothers, speak to their partners, speak to their brethren, to call them out and stop staying silent. Pull them up. Bro, stop doing this to the woman. If you have anger problems, get some therapy, get some counseling. Figure out the source of your anger. The first thing you do is to beat a woman or you want to beat up your woman. We need the men to help us. They would listen to them quicker than they would listen to us. You there? Yeah. So my heart is heavy. It's been heavy for days, you know? It's been heavy for days. And grief is the loudest thing we are feeling right now. And while that should be the loudest thing we should feel right now, I'm hearing instead is blame and division and men versus women, arguments instead of answers, noise instead of reflection. So I just want us to take today or the next couple of days not to argue, not to accuse, but to feel, to think, and maybe to find a way to move forward together. That is what that is what we want to do right now. Find a way to move forward together. We can't fight this fight alone. I know we as women think we can do a lot alone, and we have proven that we can. But in this present situation, we can't. Ekimal says we just need to stop making excuses and do better. In a relationship, you pay for people's time with money, sex, quality time, etc. The backward ish needs to stop. No one has ownership over anyone. Respect people's decision and bat in your lane. It's not a gender thing, it's boundary and respect. You can buy the world for a person, but if the person decides at the end of the day, you know what? This isn't working for me. I am no longer happy in this space, in this relationship. I need something more. I need to be by myself. I need whatever I need. But that need is just to not be with you for whatever reason. We should be okay with that. You as a man should be okay with, you know what? There's plenty fishes in the sea. You're gone, hard luck. Somebody else will, I'll make somebody else happier. This, it's funny that we are supposed to be the smarter beings. And sometimes I look at the way animals, dogs in particular, if you realize dogs have a mating season, right? Dogs don't mess around females unless they're in heat, unless it's time for them to mate. Other than that, they probably fight and play, but you don't see them trying to. And when they're done, they move on. Even animals have control over certain things. Oh, here he comes. Even animals have control over certain things. How come we as human beings, we don't have that sort of control? How? If he good. Okay, guys, he's here. So let me just give me a second. Let me just get him in. All right, guys. So we are at 11:30. So we got about 15 minutes. So we have to. Right. So we have to move like really quickly. Raymond Matthew, the Beast, is in the studio with us this morning, like I promised, and like I promised his wife, I'm not gonna keep him either. So you say us woman, we like to control and like to make confusion. A wife is doing what a wife is supposed to do. Make sure that you're okay. Yeah, put your phone on pause first, quick. On silent. Yeah. So. Yes. You're good? think we're good now. So, for those of you just joining us, and again, thanks so much, Beast, for making the call. He's been calling me constantly that he has to add his voice to the conversation. Of course, Beast is a man who has spent how many years in over 30 plus years?
40 years.
40 years.
40 years.
40 years in law enforcement, right? Standing on the front lines of crime prevention and community safety. Back in the day, he worked hard to, curb gang violence and all of that. Remember when we had Ginger Crew and when we had Beast's name, everybody stood at attention, So he has been protecting lives and upholding the law. But today, he joins us not as somebody who has been in law enforcement, but as a husband and as a father. And a citizen who is deeply troubled by, the tragic loss of these two young women whose lives were cut short. So he's joining us and to be part of this conversation. I'll be calling for men to add their voices, and he's here this morning to help us in that regard. So after 40 years in law enforcement, how did the news of these two young women affect you personally?
Well, first of all, good morning to you, Aruna, and to your listeners. Well, the first one in Koshu, I didn't know her personally. I didn't know both of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I knew the father of the one we played together in the police band. And sad to say, the whole thing now reached the police, whereby our kids have been attacked. So it took me hard. I mean, any life loss in that way will shake me up a bit. So I visited him. I went to speak to him, to comfort him and stuff. But Aruna, we need to get serious.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get serious. I'm going to be blunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's time that we kill somebody's fellas. It's time that we break the neck. When I say kill, I don't mean just going only and kill people, but
you mean like bringing back hanging?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a serious advocate for that,
mm-hmm.
because I have sisters, I have daughters. You might, you are female too, and I think whilst yes, education. Some people might be saying education. I think I heard the Prime Minister spoke about education, but there are some people that they won't be educated.
Mm-hmm.
Then the sad thing, or what made it most sad, is that we ain't bury one yet.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't lay this young lady to rest as yet. And look what happened again. Another female on her way to work, and it's really sad. We need to set some examples. It may not curb it completely, but it will slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
The rate is too fast for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to call on the Prime Minister, Minister of National Security, and I'm going to be blunt, time to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kill one of the those that don't want to take life, let's take the life.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that, the sentencing, because, for instance, the one for in Croshu, and I'm not sure if you heard the interview I did yesterday with one of his victims, that was told he will be behind bars for 33 years and was released in 10 and came back out and did the same thing. And, I realized, and just this morning I was speaking to another police officer, and they're saying that they're having, they're getting attacks. They're getting a lot of attacks from the public because a lot of the folks think it's their fault that things are happening that way. From somebody who's been in law enforcement, from the time you come in to report, let's say, domestic violence or something of the sort, what happens from then?
Well, the way I was trained, that especially domestic violence, you're up and about immediately, because we don't know what could escalate from that, right? And domestic violence goes both ways. It happens with the females, it happens with the males. But we tend to take it lightly. When we see the man, we go talk to him. If it's a male making a report, we laugh. Woman beating you, or you're letting a woman attack you and stuff. But it's time that we take these things serious, because, as I say, it will escalate, where we have a murder, we have a crime, we have, and we still have to go back and investigate that. So I'm begging law enforcement that let us take these reports seriously. Seriously, because you're hearing that one of the young ladies had made reports and stuff. I don't know what was the situation. I don't know when it was made. I don't have the facts, so I don't want to comment on that too much. But we need to take, law enforcement needs to take those reports seriously. The justice system, which is the court, also has to up the game. The laws, parliament, we have to, enact laws that will teach these people a lesson. This thing about banning people from going in certain areas and stuff. I don't know. We have to modernize those laws. Staying 300 feet away and
because we get restraining orders, but those restraining orders, it's not working.
But no, it's not working.
You're telling a man here a restraining order against a woman, and then you're seen in the same area as the woman. You're still going up to the woman's face.
But not only that, you're going to sleep in the same house with the woman.
How do you have a restraining order against somebody that you're staying in the same house with?
And the man will give you a nice talk and stuff, and he come and sleep. And the police doesn't know that, or the law doesn't know. We have no idea of that. But it's time that we step up. And 2 young ladies just gone.
Just like that.
Just like
18
that.
18 years old and 22 years old.
Right, and just like
haven't
that.
Even lived life in no way, shape, or form.
And you know what? Just now we're forgetting them. Remember the young lady in Guanans? I sang about that. And we put the guy in prison. He'll come out just now, I guess. I can't remember what his sentence is.
I think I heard someone said he's due for
he's due
to be released soon. But how do you release people who take the life of?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I mean, I could understand circumstances. If it's a case of self-defense, this person you were forced to protect, it's my life or your life, and I was forced to protect myself. For instance, you came to my home, or we got into a squabble, we argued about something, and we started fighting, whatever, something went off, bottle break, I could understand that part. But for taking the life of children, Harriet Bowler was a baby, taking the life of a child, plus these young women, defenseless young women, lives are taken, and then 20, 25,
and you're back out again.
And you back out.
And for example, the one in Croshow, these people, these prisoners, or these guys in prison, they know the system. Now, I heard a lawyer stating that the guy behaved well. And then they know this. Now, if I go in prison and I want, let's say I get 10, 15 years in prison, and I want to come out in 5, all I have to do is wash your car, behave well, be nice. When Jerry Edwin come wash your car too, and stuff, and then you come out and you say, oh, he's behaving good of them, man.
The model.
He's a model, you know, he come a long way. So let's free him in 5 years. I come out in 5 years and I do the same thing. And then I tell Jerry Edwin, I can't remember.
But
I can't remember I took somebody's life.
Mm.
And the sad thing about it, I'm a pensioner now, but people working have to feed these people out there. The same parents have to pay tax to feed that the man that killed his child in prison. No man, we had to change that.
So, what message do you want men in this country to hear right now? Because I realize, like the Prime Minister said, reforms alone can't do it. We have this mindset and this, I don't know where it seems as though it creeped up on us and then we normalized it. We've normalized disrespect. And I'll see sometimes I have to pull them up myself, the young boys, you're passing in the school uniform and they pss, pss, miss. I'm like, excuse you, don't do that. I'm a grown woman, you're a child. Mind the business that pays you your school work. And it's as young as we have this disrespect towards women from an early age. We have this total disregard for laws, total disregard for other people. It's like we got into a place where everybody's like, I do what I want until I get caught. If I don't get caught, I continue to do it. I continue. What would you say to young men, not just young, but men who are guilty of abusing their partners, abusing their wives, etc.?
Well, first to start with, I mean, I support the call by the Prime Minister for the education in schools and at an early age. But also in the homes, we reach a stage where parents don't really care. I started my business in the house and the child go to school, and if she comes home, she comes home. If he don't come home, well, we go and look for him or her. And no scolding or anything. Children come in late, children in party together with parents. Just you find that going on, right? There's no limits for young men really. Now, when you have a girl child, you find parents tend to be a bit more protective. Some.
Mhm.
When boys do things, we laugh. We give them a tap on their back.
Mhm.
You know? If a young lady come and she says you have a boyfriend, she didn't reach the age we course we get on. If the boy come and he say you have a girlfriend, yeah, man, you know. And then setting examples for them. We don't have much role models. We don't have role models, right? Now, most young men grow up in homes where they have to be the defenders of the house. They have to defend mommy. They have to defend sisters. There are those who know what to do and how it's supposed to be done and things like that. But they turn man before the time. And they feel striking a woman or pushing a woman is just normal because that's what they see. Stepfather does it and father does it. My first warning to men is that be mindful of me.
Mm.
Let me send a strong message there. Don't come by me. I am going to be the one to answer. I have to protect my wife and my daughter. And the law makes leeway for that. I'm going to defend them by all costs.
Mhm.
And it's time that we have respect for women. A woman shouldn't be anymore. You want to say something to a woman, you say it to her politely. She doesn't want to accept it or she doesn't want to talk, go your way. Go your way. The next thing is that I think it's time that our politicians and our government, and when I say politician, I'm talking about government and opposition, sit down and enact some serious laws, some serious penalties. This 30 years and 40 years, and if you behave good, you come out in 15, and no, that ain't working for our society anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's time that we take the bulls by the hands and start shaking them up.
We are angry. We are disappointed that we're here in 2026 back to back.
We're back again.
Back to back.
And if we only sit down talking, it's going to happen again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to appeal to parents that we speak to our young ladies. Yes, we know some situations are difficult, but speak to our young ladies in the choice of men.
Mm-hmm.
The choice of men. I don't want to bash all bus drivers and conductors, but we realize that where most of our young ladies, especially in school, that's where they end up. And why they end up, and let's be factual here. They do it for a ride. They end up in this relationship with these bus drivers and these conductors, and because things might be bad home, or because they're greedy. Some of them greedy. They like money. They like the fast ride. They like the free ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we have to educate them also.
To have standards, and
we have to educate them also.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to settle for
You
less.
don't have to settle for less.
Mm-hmm. You deserve more. You are the price.
Yes.
You are the price. And I think that is what the focus should be on, to teach both young men and women that they need to have standards. It's not only women to have standards. Men need to have standards.
Of course.
Because I can't see, as a almost 40-year-old man, you're in a relationship with a child under 20 years old. Where is your standard? Where is your moral compass? What guides you? So both standards is for both men and women. Men ought to hold themselves to higher standard. This is what I want in a woman. This is what I would like to see in a partner. This is how this person will pour into me. I pour into them. It can't just be, women have to do this, women have to do that. We both have to have some sort of standards as to what we want and what we're willing to settle for, what values we want and we're willing to accept in another person. We can't just be accepted because, that's what they, our man this. No, all men aren't this, that, or the other. Oh, I will stay with him, but because, and they're injecting you, you know what you have, you don't know what you'll get, you leave this one, all man does cheat, so no point leaving this one, you go pick up a next one. Okay.
And before I leave, I want to appeal to the Minister of National Security. And this one is no joke. And I want the whole of Grenada to hear that. Right now, I'm unemployed.
You're taking work?
I'm taking work. Give me the work as the hangman.
Taking work. Right. I did tell your wife 15 minutes, so there you go.
I'll just get started.
We have to go now, though, 12 o'clock. So, wifey, I stay with you.
I want the work as the hangman. If you don't want to use a hangman, put me on the firing squad.
Something after we
have to do
serious.
Something.
We have to do serious. You have to get serious.
We have to do something, otherwise they go rest for 2 years after that, and then next year again
we're back at it.
We're back at it again. We're mourning, and a tired moon for these young ladies. Really, 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 really tired. So Grenada, give me the walk. I'm taking it.
Talk to the PM for you.
Yeah, talk to him.
All right. Thank you so much, though. Truly appreciate you taking the time out and to add your voice to the conversation. It's really, really important that men and others join in. So I really appreciate you.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. That's all the time we have today. Yeah. And we'll be back tomorrow. We should be having the Attorney General. Yep. Claudette Joseph. Yeah, she's going to be here tomorrow. So, like I said, full speed ahead. We are not easing up. We're not stopping. We continue to keep you informed. We continue to keep you in the loop. And we continue to let our voices be heard. Our voices must be heard. And like I said earlier on, let us not make this a men versus women fight. Let us make it a fight where we do it together. Each one teach one, each one holding each other accountable and holding them responsible for their actions. Yep. I shall see you guys tomorrow. So until then, thanks so much, everybody. And thank you so much, St. Augustine Medical Services. Thank you so much, Land Store. Thank you so much, Western Union and Beacon Insurance for making our show possible yet again. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. See you tomorrow.